Hey, what's going on, guys? And I don't really know what to really call. Like, should I say SnivyPootis? Should I say Nova the Protogen? Should I say, it's uploaded on Nova the Protogen, but this is not a typical Nova the Protogen video. I just wanted to upload it here because this is the best place to do it. Because it wouldn't really make sense to upload this onto my Final Fantasy channel since this is not Final Fantasy related. I actually recorded this audio before, but it felt kind of scattered and a little bit winded and kind of a little not as direct as I was hoping it was going to end up being. So I'm trying to do this again to make it a little bit more cohesive. But if you already read the title, then you know what's coming and you know what this video is about. But I am deciding to officially make my way into the pro scene for Smash Bros. So I'm gonna try and briefly just go over like the why now and what characters I plan to play, all that good stuff, just to kind of give y'all a little bit of a synopsis as to why I'm deciding now of all times to do it, and just why I wanted to make this video, just to kind of like put my thoughts all in one place so that people who, well, maybe if I ever want to look back on myself, if once I actually do make it into the big leagues, I can look back at this video and be like, yeah, I had some beginnings. I mean, the next Smash game will be coming out probably sometime in the coming years, either in a year or two, if we're going off of the same release schedule as Smash Ultimate. But Ultimate still has a good while before they completely drop it, because every Smash game still has tournaments and stuff for it. I mean, granted, there may not be as many tournaments for say Smash 4 as compared to Smash Ultimate, or Melee compared to Brawl, but every game still has representation here and there. They're not all dead, so hell, even for 64, there's still some tournaments here and there. Yeah, they're rare as hell, but they're there. But anyway, point is, I want to get into the competitive scene, because it's not like the game is, just because there's a new Smash game doesn't mean I'm gonna have to completely drop Ultimate. And even then, it's really just a good thing, because that means that I will be starting fresh from a brand new game, and I won't have to worry about playing a game from the pro scene without having any sort of actual pro level experience. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So why now? Why play Smash Ultimate now? Why become a pro player now? Okay, well, first of all, I've been playing Smash Ultimate for a long time, basically since the game came out. I have about 2,000 hours. I probably could have more, but life's got in the way, and other games I play, especially Final Fantasy 14. But I have mainly been wanting to play Smash Ultimate on my Switch 1 and Switch 2 for a while, because that's just the game that always felt like a game that I could just pick up and start playing no matter what, and always just feel like that I'm relatively the same feeling. I don't have to get ready to play it. I don't have to get in the mindset. I don't have to wait for someone to get on. I can just get on Smash, play some quick play matches, well, quick match, whatever you want to call it, Elite Smash, and then after I'm done, then I just get off and go do something else. It's a very easy game to get in, get out, and I love that. That's kind of, and I do that quite often. Whenever I just don't know what I want to do, I'm just I'm just gonna play some Smash, and I'll play maybe for 5 to 10 matches, maybe 5 to 20 matches, maybe for an hour, 2 hours. It depends on how I feel. But Smash has always been my go-to game to play whenever I just want to play a game that I consider myself decent at, but also a game where I don't have to sit in queues for ages and deal with a bunch of teammates and stuff, because you just go in, get your 1v1 and get out. Unless you're one of those people who plays a team battles or free-for-all or something like that, which most people who play that aren't really looking for competitive value. They're just trying to have fun, which is fair. But basically, I've been playing this game for basically as long as I can remember. Not even just including Ultimate. I've been playing since Melee. Melee was probably my least played, but I did play quite. I think it really started picking up for me around Smash 4. I did play quite a bit of Brawl as well, though. Most of that being me screwing around in Stage Builder, but I did play a lot of Brawl, and I did play a lot of Smash 4, and then Ultimate is when I really started to go in. I feel like if I were to go back and look at my hours on Smash 4, 3DS, and Wii U combined, I feel like it probably would trump my Ultimate hours by now, but I don't know yet, because I can't really check that, because my Wii U is out of commission, and I don't really know if my 3DS is even charged, but anyway, yeah. I've been playing Smash for basically as long as I can remember. I've never played 64, but but one of these days I will, just to say that I did. But yeah, I've basically been playing Smash for as long as I can remember, and I've just really always fell in love with the game. And it's basically, I consider it one of my favorite games of all time in terms of multiplayer. So I figured, why not let it be my flagship game that I debut in like a pro level, because yeah, I'm pretty good at Overwatch, pretty good at Marvel Rivals, pretty good at this and that, but like I always felt at home with Smash. Like I felt Smash was one of those games where I feel like I understand what I'm doing on a much deeper level than any other game that I've played. Overwatch may be up there, but it's definitely still not in comparison to Smash. Like I could gather on about so much Smash tech. Even tech I don't fully understand myself. I just find it interesting because I just love the game that much. But like when it comes to like other games, like I feel like I can say, oh, this does that, and this is good against that, or this is what you want to use against that. This is a good counter for that. Blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that Smash Bros in general was always a game where I could just play it, understand it, feel for it, vibe, all that good stuff. So yeah, I decided to choose it as my game for being my, I guess, official competitive game. Yeah, I'll still play other games competitively here and there, but like Smash Ultimate has always been like, well, Smash in general has always been like my, I guess, comfort game, so to speak. So when it comes to why now, it's just basically just because I really just wanted to have a game that I could just focus on and just get really good at again. I've always been good at Smash, really good at Smash, but like I can never consider myself like as like fine-tuned as I thought I was. Mainly just whenever I go up against someone who's like actually really good and goes to tournaments and stuff. I've only been to one tournament that I did win, a local tournament, I mean. But whenever I go against other people who actually went into multiple tournaments and, you know, have like a more deeper mechanical understanding of the game than I ever did, I realized that, wow, I thought I had all that. I thought I had to figure it out. I thought I had the answers, but like, clearly I still have some learning to do, which honestly made me even more excited to learn the game, because granted, you might think, okay, I will admit I did get pretty upset whenever I did lose originally, but after a good while, I really just started thinking like, man, it really makes you want to do at the end of the day is just get even better, because what better motivator for getting better at a game than like thinking that, oh, I know everything about this game, I'm so good, I've been playing this for thousands of hours, I'm so good at this game, I know what I'm doing, there's no way I could ever lose to the majority of the players that I go up against. And then you just get humbled so hard that you just go like, wow, okay, well, I guess I really didn't know everything. And then like it kind of pushed me into learning like tech that because like I already knew some basic tech, like I knew how to be reverse, I knew how to turn around special, I knew how to do like short hops and stuff like that, but like I didn't know like buffering short hops. I didn't know about like wave bouncing has always been something I've kind of like heard here and there, but I was like, what even really is it, like it's something that was very intricate and very like difficult to pull off on the dime. And I thought, maybe wave bouncing is not like a terrible thing to do, but I tried it, looked into it, and I figured out that it's not as bad as I thought. Just like so much tech that I ever heard of but never really tried to do, or just tech that I heard of but like I've already been doing, but I learned more about said tech as I was researching it, and it really just pushed me into learning more like intricate like details on like stuff, like especially like DI, SDI, stuff like that. Like because like again, it's a term that you hear and you think you understand just from like word of mouth, but then when you actually go into like learning like the actual ways it works and stuff, and what and like the actual variants of the angles that you should be going, so that instead of like, you know, thinking like, oh well, if I'm getting like smashed to the right, I should I should point my stick to the left so that way I don't go as far. And it's like, no, it's not as simple as that, you know. Like there might be some nuances here and there, but again, yeah, it's just one of those things where you really think you know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're doing, if that makes sense. But yeah, it really just made me want to learn the game even more, because like granted, yeah, I've been playing this game for years, but I never took the time to actually learn any intricate details because I assumed that I already knew everything. But you know, once you get humbled like how I did, then you just think, wow, okay, maybe I need to go back to the basics. And then once you do, you start learning more things along the way that end up turning you into a much better player than you've probably ever been. And that's what I'm learning now. So as for all that, now that all that's out of the way, I want to quickly go over the characters that I decided to go into, as in like my characters that I want to learn and bring into tournaments, and just so I can have like a decent variety of characters that I personally like to play, not based on tier list. So the first character I wanted to play was Sora, and first obvious reason is because I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and as soon as I saw Sora was a character that was going to be in Smash as the final DLC character, I thought that was, I like most people who saw the reveal trailer, I freaked out, and I was like, oh my god, no way. I was like crying tears of joy. I was so happy, because like it's something I've been wanting since Brawl, especially after all the modded Brawl gameplay that I saw that had Sora as a over Marth, and I thought, oh my god, no way. Now, you know, we all know what I'm talking about, but yeah, like I've been wanting it since Brawl, and when I finally saw that reveal trailer on like October, I think it was, I was so happy. And I love the way that he's in and how he's portrayed in Ultimate. I love his kit, I love the way that he plays, I love his specials, I love everything about him. Like there's something about Sora that I really truly say I don't agree with how he was put into the game. And you know, he kind of played naturally for me, because like Roy was my main before in Ultimate, before Sora came out, so it's not like I'm not accustomed to playing Sora. But like, you know, Sora is not like a traditional sword fighter, he's more nuanced in that, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I love the way he plays. I love him in general, because I love Kingdom Hearts, and you know, of course I'm gonna be playing Sora. That was like a guarantee even before I made this video. But the second one is a bit more of a out there pick, and it's honestly been so far my most daunting choice of all these today. Say what you will about Bayonetta, but Bayonetta is like a character. As a character in Smash 4, they were like a menace. They were like the Brawl Meta Knight equivalent. Maybe not as lethal, but I think that everybody can, like, every Smash game has that one character where people go like, what character do you think is the most annoying? And then they go like, oh, it's obviously Brawl Meta Knight, or it's obviously Fox Melee, or it's obviously but like in this case it's Bayonetta Smash 4. And then of course the transition from Smash 4 to Ultimate, they made Bayonetta like a shell of their former selves, where all their kill power is basically like gone completely. And that's like the thing about them. Like their combo game is strong as ever. It's just that they don't have any kill potential. And honestly, I think that kind of is a good thing, at least for my case, because it teaches me to try and kill in more creative ways rather than just going for the basic like, oh, my forward tilt should kill at this percent, or oh, I'm just gonna go for a forward air that'll kill, or oh, I'll go for a smash attack, because like, you know, a lot of things that work on other characters will not work on Bayo, and you have to be really creative and smart and think out of the box in order to get the most value out of her. And she's considered a very high skill ceiling, high technical character, but not with much reward, unfortunately. But that's okay with me, because I really just love the way that she plays. I love like combo characters, Sumi, but I just really like how diverse and how like she kind of and makes you want to think outside the box instead of just going for that flowchart, bread and butter, blah blah blah. I mean, obviously there's some bread and butter flowchart blah blah blahs, but not as like heavy. It's not heavily implied as other characters is. And I just honestly feel like I could see myself playing a lot of Bayonetta, but I still got a long way to go before I consider myself like a secondary or anything like that just yet. This is my old main from Smash Brawl, Lucario. I've always really enjoyed Lucario's like gameplay and like just the way he plays. Granted, in Ultimate, he's like probably his best form. Honestly, he may not be super high up on any tier list, but he's still very much a threat. And you can like his Aura Spear mix-up games with wave bouncing and V reversing is really fun, and I just like the way that how like technical he is again, like Bayonetta. He's one of those characters where you have to be a little bit more creative in order to get the most out of their kit. You can't just like do the basic, oh, I'm just gonna grab chain some forward airs and then forward smash call it a day. No, you gotta like actually try to get some fancy like looking setups and kill combos instead of just going for the natural what feels right type of deal, especially at low percent, because Lucario at low percent plays a lot differently to Lucario at high percent for multiple reasons. But again, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I just think that is again going to teach me a lot more fundamentals outside of just like what I know, and also just you know, Lucario is Lucario. I love Lucario, Sumi, but I just love the way he plays in Ultimate, and he feels like he's in his best state ever. And I feel like that he doesn't feel like that one of those characters where I truly am like floundering with ever, and I like that about them, because I'm not just because I played him in Brawl, but like just because like it feels like that I don't ever have to stress about, oh my god, what am I gonna put through here, what am I gonna throw there, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Now this is actually a main that I've had in Ultimate before I started playing Roy. Pikachu, he was a brief venture for me. I mained him for I mained him, quote unquote, I want to say for like maybe 4 to 6 months before I went to Roy again, after, because Roy was my melee main, fun fact. And I've loved the way Roy plays in Ultimate. I mean, like, he didn't really need any buffs, honestly, but he still got some anyway. Now he's like pretty prevalent in tournaments. There's a lot of Roy players. Cola, you know, we all know them. But Roy is like one of those characters where you don't really expect them to make it the highest they did, but they did. But I've played Pikachu because I like the way he played. I thought Pikachu felt really natural to me, and I was always really good with like characters that had chains in them with it, like I mean, if you're noticing a trend, a lot of the characters I play have like some sort of like chain potential with like really easy and really annoying type of deal, especially Pikachu back air or forward air. But Pikachu was more just like a character that I picked up because I don't know, I started playing him one day and then I was like, oh, this character's actually pretty good, and I played them. It wasn't really any specific like deeper reason. I just wanted to have a character I could settle on, and Pikachu was that character for a while. Like, I mean, hell, I thought at the same time I thought I was going to be a Ridley player because I thought I got into Elite Smash first. Then I realized how dumb the Elite Smash system actually is in hindsight. But I really just enjoy Pikachu in Ultimate. I still do. I still play him every now and then, but I'm gonna try and actually dedicate more time into them for real, instead of just being like, I want to play this character because I think they're pretty neat, you know. Like, that's kind of like how I felt about them for the longest time. But now I'm gonna actually try and put in some like legwork into playing them. Now this last one is kind of a bundle deal, so it's King K. Rool and Bowser. Now more leaning towards Bowser because I did not realize how like annoyingly good Bowser is. I don't know if it's just because I'm good at Bowser or if it's just because people I played against recently are just don't know how to deal with Bowser's nonsense. I mean, granted, there was this one person that fucked me up pretty bad on Bowser, but like I wanted to play a heavyweight because I've never actually played a heavyweight before in Smash. I mean, I played them of course, but I never actually like tried learning them and learning their kits. I would just play them every now and then just to, like fuck around. Because I just don't really like the idea of, oh, well, I'm slow, big, and lumbering, but I can also kill them at 40%. Because like a lot of the most common and more like more prevalent characters in brackets and just in general online are people who can like combo food King K. Rool and Bowser for days. Mainly K. Rool. Bowser maybe not as much, but K. Rool for sure. Because like once like especially if you're one against a Pikachu or a Mario or something like that who loves to get those like consistent strings into kill confirms, like you're gonna be getting carried across the stage a bunch unless you DI properly. Even then, if you DI properly, you just might get just caught into the somewhere in the middle of it or somewhere towards the end anyway, and it's just kind of like a done deal at that point. But I do quite enjoy Bowser, and I feel like I'm pretty good at Bowser. K. Rool, I'm not as sure, but I am still very much wanting to at least try one heavy for this time round. Now a bit more niche little things to end off here. I am gonna be going under the alias Anon1Furry, and the reason for that is because mainly literally just because I wanted to try and have like a little bit of a separate, cooler type of name to be called whenever I play in majors, if assuming I ever get the majors. But no, I will get the majors. I can't say it like that. I can't think like that. But whenever I could tell a major or something like that, it's just imagine it's just seeing like in a set a non-1Furry versus blank like that. I think that would just be funny. And also just because like I want to let them know who beat them and how they beat them, and just like saying like I want to play I'm gonna be playing Lucario and I also find them attractive, so yeah, sue me. But yeah, and also the controller that of my choice that I am playing with is the 8-bit the Ultimate Bluetooth 2. It's a really comfortable controller, one I could definitely see myself playing with for extended periods of time, and also just a controller that has extra buttons and stuff on it, which I don't really think I really will be using a lot, to be honest, but it's definitely nice to have it in case I ever want to do any sort of crazy shit with the button mapping there. But anyway, that's basically it. Hopefully I'm gonna be going to more online tournaments, maybe locals as well if I can find any in my local scene. My local scene isn't very strong, to be honest, but I will definitely try, because I think locals is always gonna be better just because you don't have to deal with Wi-Fi lag and all that stuff. But regardless, I plan to make as big a splash as I can, and I will be streaming Smash Ultimate basically as much as possible on my Twitch channel. So if you haven't already, go to twitch.tv/SnivyPootis so that you can see what I'm getting up to, see what I'm trying to learn, all that good stuff. So hopefully by the time this video is up, I'll also be streamed as well. But anyway, that's basically all I got to say for you. Just wish me luck. We're gonna see how it goes, and no matter what happens, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.